98.1. Welcome officially inside the locker room where we talk sports with Valentine
and Folu
and Tega Onojaife, aka Tega Supreme. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning.
Excellent.
It's morning, right?
Yes, it is. You've made it to this side. Don't worry. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Tega, asking those kind of questions at this time.
I don't know. Sometimes my night to blend into body. I don't like it when Serena and Roger Federer play at night. It's just painful in my spirit.
Stressful.
It's called work.
It's the life you chose.
Yes.
It's the also you are in.
Deal with it.
And I'm getting older. I used to do this in my 20s.
Nobody wants to know.
Where I won't sleep at night. And then, I'll come to the studio the next morning and I'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do now.
Yeah. But you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Let us join the conversation. Tweet at us. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981. Go up on our live stream where we're up right now. You can see that Tega is sleepy for real, but she's going to give us all the latest gist around the sports stories this morning. So first of all, let's talk about this one. As the Super Eagles camp swelled to an appreciable level in Victoria, Seychelles, Coach Rohr has urged his charges not to underrate the hosts. Are you hearing? Mm-hmm. As the Eagles aim to collect all 3 points and revive their chances of qualification 2019 Africa Cup. So Rohr will be without defenders Tyrone Eboué, Shehu Abdullahi, William Trustekong, and Ola Aino for the clash, owing to several injury concerns. And Rohr said, well, it depends on how we handle the absence of the injured defenders, but I think that Omeru should lead in their absence. He's been with the team for a long time, and I hope that he should be able to cover up for the other injured players who will not be a part of the game. And for us to win, we must not look down on Seychelles because everybody thinks they're no team. But if we don't raise our game, we will be shocked. The streets are electrical. People, they can shock you anytime.
Their streets are beautiful and so are their beaches. And people can get lost. Yeah, wandering the land.
Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you.
It's not like they need to even do anything. They just invite you to come and tour their town.
Uh-huh. Relax.
And then you forget yourself.
That you came here to bury. But very important. And we have seen it happen periodically where teams underestimate a team that they feel is of no consequence. It's even happened where people underestimate us and just feel, it's nice. What they really do. Do you think that there's a chance that might happen? And looking at the fact that we are without some strong defenders in the back,
I'd say that because a few key player is missing.
Who's the key?
I don't know how else to put it. Trustekong is.
Yeah. I mean, you can see him.
Yeah, he's part of that wall. So he's not. But Amaro is not a bad replacement. Okay. He actually can handle the pressure. Again, I know that I don't want to belittle this country, but it's Seychelles, for crying out loud. However, the more important thing is not, look, if they go and play the football and just come back with 3 points, we're Nigerians. We're coming out with our sticks. So we don't want just the result. We want to also enjoy the match because again, it's Seychelles. You better be beating them senselessly while you're at it. But what it is that his players are in camp. Iwobi is also missing from his through injury or something. And so there's no Mikel, there's no Moses. So they're going to be trying in a few new players in key roles where they would normally have those players just take their position. Yeah. For me, the best news that I know is that the Wakali brother will play. That's the one I want to see. I want to see how he'll fit into the team, and I want to see what our transition will be like. Maybe to be retired and all. So it'd be interesting to see how the lines of that stuff for and so I'm not really worried about the result as much as I am about the cohesion.
Be watchful.
It's a word is enough for the body. Now, Serena Williams passed her toughest test so far at the US Open to beat Karolina Pliskova and reach the semifinals for a 9th consecutive time. Williams, who seeded 17th, trailed 4-2 in the first set, hit back to win 6-4, 6-3 against the Czech 8th seed. In her words, Williams said, felt so bad because everyone out here was cheering and I wasn't winning, so I thought I had to try harder.
Come through, Serena.
I really feel like right now I'm playing free. She says I was having a baby this time last year, so now I have nothing to prove.
Because girls from Compton do tennis, they own it.
You better, lady, don't think that you have pressure. You're Serena Williams back in crutches. People just be looking at you like.
Didn't you know?
You gotta win.
Yeah.
You're superhuman. You own this thing.
Talk about pressure.
But
and
what
expectation.
I'm telling you, but what it is Karolina Pliskova. That's his sister that can play tennis.
Okay.
Her sister Christina is very horrible.
Oh, wow.
So she took all the tennis talent. She's fantastic. She's a big server. She's a big hitter. Her ground strokes are powerful. And then she beat Serena the last time they met. So she had a little bit of bragging with her. You know, during the press conference, she was like, Serena is a big player, but sometimes she acts bigger than her game.
Oh,
If that did not pain Serena, I'm sure when Serena was 4-2 down, she was just thinking of how the girl was going to brag post match if the girl won her, because that's a good motivation. When somebody bragged before the match and then they come to the match and beat on top of the bragging.
Work out.
Do you understand?
Make it
So
work for you.
I mean, so she said my game is bigger than me. I act bigger than my game. Are you serious? Me, Serena Williams,
I mean,
23
those
Grand
are
Slams.
fighting words. Why would Pliskova come out and say something
Because
like that?
most people look. Some people, different people have different ways to approach things, and I'm not going to make any excuses for her. I think for me, she should have stopped at Serena is a big player, and I'm going to come out ready for her.
She probably didn't think about the rest of the statement she made.
Came out and said, you know what? But sometimes she acts bigger than her game.
Imagine.
Girlfriend, take your beating and go back home.
Because she said the last
Take your
time I was
beating
there.
and go to Czech Republic. Like everybody was rooting for Serena. So this win for Serena was just like, next time you want to talk, remember how I beat you mercilessly. So Pliskova, it's sad. She's one of those players that she has a good run, but there's just something missing for her to clinch Grand Slam titles, and maybe she had been a little more humble. Sometimes just be humble.
Prudent with her words.
I beat you like this now and you can't do anything. But in other news, Sloane Stephens crashed out yesterday to Sevastova. It was two big hitters, but again, Sevastova moves around the court more than Sloane Stephens. I don't blame Sloane Stephens too much because of her lack of movement. Because remember when she was driving around in a wheelchair February last year, and then she comes to win US Open. So she's changed her game to fit the way her body healed.
Yeah.
So some players that are very good take advantage of the fact that she doesn't move too much around the court anymore. But on the day I think she was battling the heat, and then she was battling the player, and nothing was just working right. So sad one that she can't defend her championship, but try again next year. It's a village.
All right, let's carry on. Talk about Roger Federer. He needs to play more tournaments following his shock. I told you the streets are electrical, people. His shock US Open exit or consider retirement. And this is according to former Wimbledon champion Pat Cash. Cash says eventually it catches up with you and you get unexplained losses and bad performances. It will happen once in a while, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. And then you say either play a little bit more or retire. Now, he may or may not make that decision this time. I'm not saying that retirement is imminent, but he might think enough is enough. Because when you come toward the end of the career, these losses just happen, and you scratch your head and ask, what went wrong there? Hey,
you see when you lose, a lot of people come out with all their analysis. This is what they said in 2013 when he had his most horrible season ever. But what because when I did see him play, I was hurt again. You have to understand that when you're awake at 3 a.m.
We're thinking of you.
When you're awake at 3 a.m. and Roger Federer cannot even hit a first serve. He was hitting. I think in the second set his first serve percentage was 17%. That's not even fail. That's below fail. It was 17%. In the whole match, he hit 41% first serves. There was one particular game that lasted for 15 minutes and he hit 2 of 22 first serves. 2, like 1, 2 of 22.
Okay, so yes, Pat Cash may be going a bit haywire in this, but is he entirely wrong? Because
he's entirely wrong.
Because because Roger is getting older. That time is approaching.
I'm getting to he's entirely wrong, and I will tell you why he's entirely wrong. When I saw Federer, I thought there was something wrong with him physically, like maybe his back has started hurting, or you could tell because CDT use ice towels at midnight.
That is high.
Do you understand? Too much. You needed to see Rafa Nadal to hit him like that. So the physical conditions were for him. So he said, according to him, he could
behave. But I'm like, but his still.
He's just not the factor here.
I think it might still be a factor.
No, it was not
going to hit him.
I don't think. No, I think it wasn't remotely a factor. No old man problems. If there was recovery issues, yes, no old man problems. But so what? when you look at players like Rafael and Novak Djokovic, they've struggled with so much injuries over their careers. They've conditioned their body to play this thing. The guy he was playing, the guy he was playing, before. John Millman, is Australian and everything. The everything. So Roger Federer doesn't really have to condition his body. It's different. So which is why he struggled.
Things usually just work out.
But that he was hit that night. He shocked him.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more sports discussions here inside the locker room. Hit us up on WhatsApp, on Twitter, and of course on the live stream on YouTube.
Don't mind Pascal, she's mad. He should play more games so that the body that is not even there will break down.
He's probably feeling like a boss.
His body cannot even take small games. If he plays more games, he'll retire in 2 years. He will retire next year. I'm telling you, if Roger plays more games, he'll retire next year.
No, but that's why, like, I kind of credit a little bit with what Pat Cash had to say, that yes, maybe it's not this particular game, but that will start happening.
He shouldn't. So he needs to play less games, but play it
because he's managing the situation very well.
Yes,
he understands himself. He understands what's happening.
So what Pat Cash is saying that he should play more is ridiculous. No, I knew those were extenuating circumstances.
He wants to run him down
because Roger Federer doesn't sweat when he's playing. He perspires. But that day he changed 3 times. Every set he changed. It was bad. It was bad. Midnight they had ice packs on their neck. Midnight. Even here, it's not that.
But they beat him like a schoolboy.
And they beat him.
When I saw the results.
Not like he beat him. It wasn't bad though. If you look at the results, you won't think that they beat him. It was 7-6, 7-6. Everything went to tie break.
No, but there was another one.
No, he beat the guy in the first set 6-4.
Oh, right.
Right. Then the guy beat him in the last 2 sets, 7-6, 7-6. Everything went to tie break. But he made 77 unforced errors. You could tell he wasn't even seeing road.
And you said 70%. So that say you is in GCSE unbeatable. If they give you, that the teacher was angry that your came. That's what, because there's no point.
As I say, it was beyond fail. So you could tell he couldn't see. So I thought he had a back problem that he was struggling because you could tell there was something physically wrong with him. Actually, he said he just couldn't breathe, that the humidity was much. He was not used to that conditioning. So it's not like Nadal. Nadal has conditioned his body to suffer. Which has conditioned his body to suffer. Even this Millman that he played, Millman wanted to play. He was telling them that he wished he could play Roger in the afternoon when it was 80 degrees and when it was 38 degrees and 80% humidity, because then he knew that he would physically outlast Federer. I was like, this guy was ready for you. Yes, this guy, if he was Djokovic is playing, he need to take some things. Federer, he knew that Federer could not do that physical. He did not have that physical.
Djokovic is still my guy in these tennis games. Doesn't matter anything. See, my focus. Like, I love that guy because you can just see when he's like.
I can't stand him.
Because he doesn't smile with everybody. Please, I like it like that.
No. He's actually the top 10. He's actually the funniest and nicest guy. But he said.
But he's not charismatic. He's not like Nadal and Roger.
That's what I think he has split personality disorder because he's a totally different person. Okay.
Studio. Yes, and you are listening to Smooth 98.1 right now. We are talking sports inside the locker room this morning, so get involved. A few messages have come through. ZZ Classic says, let me be sarcastic this morning. Girls always talk about break, but they don't know how painful international break is. Anyways, I want to wish the Super Eagles the very best of luck this weekend. Thanks for that. Don't tell us any more jokes, ZZ Classic. While Chuma B says, kudos to Rafael Nadal for not putting me to shame because of the supporters of Roger Federer were expecting him to lose, but all those their prediction did not hold water. Yeah, sounds like a testimony. While Cruz says Roger is definitely older, but he changed his game over the years, taking his body into consideration. This year's US Open, it was just horrible weather-wise. Absolutely, Cruz. I think everyone's with you on that one. But we carry on with more sports stories.
So let's talk about Nike's trainers being burned. So critics have burned Nike trainers and clothing in protest. I want to say clothing, socks. That's stockings, right? They've been burned in protest at Colin Kaepernick's appointment as the face of the brand's new advertising campaign. In an interview with the Daily Caller, President Donald Trump has been strongly critical of the protest movement that Kaepernick sparked, said, I think as far as sending a message, I think it's a terrible message and a message that shouldn't be sent. The NFL said that it embraces the role and responsibility of everyone involved in this game to promote meaningful, positive change in our communities.
Except
the
you.
statement added, the social justice issues that Colin and other professional athletes have raised actually deserve our attention and action.
And yes, that's why people have not given him any job since, and he's suing you people. So he yeah, because they keep talking good and doing bad. Nobody has employed him. I mean, I've seen horrible quarterbacks get jobs, but not Colin Kaepernick. He's untouchable now. He's toxic. And so he sued them, everybody, for not giving. Since 2016. So let's see how that turns out. But it is good for this company. We're not selling your products.
Listen, just for shout out to Nike. I have to say it because you did good. You did good.
But
I want to see somebody burn their $5,000 sneakers.
Yeah.
They're only burning the cheap ones.
I think they're burning their sneakers. I think they're burning their expensive sneakers. But here's
Where's
not
the
the
picture?
expensive ones.
Video?
We have checked. It's not the expensive ones.
Yes, they're burning the
old
expensive
tattered
one.
ones.
Yes.
No, not they're burning
How many?
expensive one. I saw one with silver and the glimmers. It's not cheap. It's
$5,000 charge.
Exactly. I think
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure it is.
No,
but my
go
point
ahead.
is, whether it is a $5,000 shoe or not, they already have their money. As in, you've already paid the money.
Before.
So whether you burn it or not, it's none of their business. As far as they're concerned, that product was gone from them from the minute you paid for it.
Nothing to do with them.
But here it is. It was a story they were trying to tell. Sacrifice everything. Do what's right, even if it means sacrificing everything. And there was no better person to preach that message than Colin Kaepernick. And so they've used him, and a lot of people are coming out with, you know that Trump is president, so a lot of
people are saying dump the stock for the company, do
and
all
then,
of this,
and so somebody came up with a report yesterday that Nike lost 2%, and which is about 100. This is interesting. It wasn't only that company. Every company that Puma, Adidas, they lost by 2.something%. So it was that group that didn't sell on the day. Nobody was buying from that type of market on the day. So it wasn't the company that was losing. But I like the boldness in this company. There are a lot of times I hate the company. Like they still support their wife beaters. I hate, but they tend to stand by their athletes.
Yes.
But most in general, when they start
Unless you kill somebody.
yeah.
Whatever.
Unless you kill somebody, but even then, they didn't dump him. They didn't dump him immediately.
Outright,
They
waited.
still took, and then they still used his advert. That was the bullet. Do you understand?
But not in essence.
No, not in essay.
They pulled it straight away.
Not in essay. But they still use their adverts still. So they stick by their athletes, and they're the ones that actually provide the uniforms for most of the NFL teams. So NFL have no choice.
Yeah.
You can't do anyhow. Do you understand?
It's a contract.
It's too late to pull out.
And
if they did pull out, they will now give Colin Kaepernick's lawsuit more boldness, because they are claiming that no team wants to pick him, not because of what he's doing off the field, but because of his lack of fitness. That's what they are claiming. So if they now pull out of this contract with this company,
absolutely,
Colin Kaepernick will just be smiling to the bank. Not like he's not already smiling to the bank.
He's very smiley right now, because there are a lot of people supporting that company as a result of this action alone. As a result of this alone.
Follow, you know now.
Put your convictions.
I'm getting myself a pair.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't shout.
Goodwill Yamu from Ojodu says, good analysis, guys. Serena looks good to nurse another Grand Slam title as a nursing mother. Go big.
Nice
a lot of interesting jokes this morning. I don't know if I'm with you on them.
Jokes Wednesday, maybe.
But again, Tega says, I feel your pain over your favorites, Roger, especially after staying awake all night. The humidity did affect all the players, but he will be back now on his descent to full retirement. Wow. Men's singles final should come to Nadal versus Djokovic.
True.
Okay. Chima B is back in, but let's give someone else a chance to speak. Joe says, so in my view, I think the Australian dude was better able to adapt to the weather condition. Remember, Djokovic almost lost his first or second match due to the weather as well, and I think this weather is such a big factor here. Federer is also getting older, so it may not just be advisable to push his body more than it can take. This is also why I think Federer has recently been able to deal with injuries better than Nadal and Federer. Do you mean Djokovic, perhaps? But wait till you watch Nadal's match. Kai, he said.
Yeah, it was tough. 4 hours and something, almost 5 hours. That's how long he played.
Grueling.
Yeah. he won. I was telling him, if you knew you were going to lose, why do you play 5 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, so FIFA's Best Player Award for 2018. Up and running, Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, and Mohamed Salah. Barcelona forward Lionel Messi and full-time Ballon d'Or winner missed out, or 5-time winner rather, missed out on a place in the top 3. What do you think about this lineup?
It's the craziest lineup
Popularity contest?
I don't know that it's popularity contest per se. I think it's just people were lazy. They just picked the UEFA top 3 and just made it because it's the FIFA Football Player of the Year. In a World Cup year, first of all, you cannot ignore the World Cup. And you take a Mo Salah, again, I keep saying it, Mo Salah had a fantastic season. He scored 44 goals, no doubt. He had a horrible World Cup, and you can say maybe it's due to injuries or not. He did not show up. He did not win anything with Liverpool. I don't care how good he is. He deserves to be in top 10, but he does not deserve to be on that list. Because the minute you put in a player like Mo Salah and Cristiano Ronaldo on that final 3 list, you have to explain why you left out Lionel Messi, who won 2 trophies, who won the Golden Boots. He was in the final 3.
Yeah.
I would say Luka Modric, who won the UCL and then was the MVP of the World Cup tournament deservedly. I would say Antoine Griezmann, who won the World Cup and won the Europa, and I would say Kylian Mbappe, who was fantastic at the World Cup, and then I would give the award to Luka Modric.
So I'm going to suggest you to FIFA so that they can just pay attention.
Because this list they were mentally lazy to come up with that list.
Let's talk about the women's list as well. For Best FIFA Women's Player, we have Ada Hegerberg of Norway and Germany's Jennifer Marozan. They were finalists alongside Brazil forward Marta.
Thank you. Now with this list, I'm not sure that Marta should be there still. I know she had some exploits, but I'm not sure that Marta should be there still. However, I'm good. For me, Ada Hegerberg was robbed at the UEFA Player of the Year. I think she should have won it, and so this is her opportunity to win it. So when it comes to this award, sometimes you look at the reasoning and you say, well, the logic is lost for me. It's lost on it. So.
All right. Okay. And let's see. We do have to take a very quick break right about now. So let's get this comment in from Chima B. Back to this. He says, I'm waiting for Serena Williams to get the job again. No one can stop her. It's too late for them. Auntie Sharapova is out now, though. It wasn't surprising. We'll be back in just a bit. Keep listening. We're talking sports inside of the locker room, and we'll be back for the final sports story.
Let me try over first. I was just so happy. As in, it wasn't even a contest.
Baby. Gone.
It wasn't even a contest. She was done.
Okay, their shoes. I'm like, man, I didn't know what you write. Say if they don't want their shoes, but he said their shoe.
They don't want their shoes. They should send it to you.
Only.
I'm going to buy a pair of Nike. As soon as I saw the advert, like, you guys.
Everyone is giving them enough free. In fact, old man Ibro just posted a fact. He goes, in fact, F it. I'm just going to post the logo. I'm telling you. But no, they did good.
They did really good.
They did good with that one. And they're gonna make a lot of money. Like, forget what's everybody the backlash to it, because everyone who's now clocking onto what's happening and the type of negative force that they're trying to attach to this.
Before they did that kind of thing, they would have done cost analysis.
Yes,
they are not mad.
They know what they're doing.
Also, articles from markets.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Experts saying, it's a bad move. You cannot ignore that kind of negative.
No, those are white marketers. Because I know somebody. Because I know someone that says that she worked with the markets that does all these things. That Nike's market, big market, actually comes from Black youth.
Yes, that's what. Very quickly. So either the raid on Clark's house, stolen artifacts, or 1.6 billion church donation for Lagos Talks. That's my least favorite one, because I'm like, it's just let's do stolen artifacts, because it's too much politics. This raid on Clark's house is let's talk about our history maybe. Yeah, stolen artifacts. Because I'm like, raid on Clark's house is just more this government worry.
People's reactions and all. Yeah, but then again, I guess
they've already said what they're going to do. They're going to sanction them. It's just I saw a lot of people wanted to talk, but all that people were saying was the same stuff.
There's no development story from that.
Sorry, Tega, you were saying the black youth. Yeah, that's where they make all their money from.
This thing just
and black youth culture.
Exactly.
So
this thing just inspire people to go and buy some more.
Well, please.
I was so happy
because
I remember using
now.
the NFL. Like sue them. All those white people that don't want to give you jobs, sue them.
Pull out all the Nikes. Donald Trump probably tweet soon.
He was the one that gave the interview now that they are sending wrong message.
You wonder if it's possible without
all the messages is poor.
Just generate a pay code with your bank's app or USSD code on your phone and start withdrawing. This service is
No, we'll do this first, then we'll do messages.
Okay.
We are back in studio. And we're back inside the locker room here on Smooth Breakfast, jumping into our final sports stories. To get those comments in, hashtag lockerroom981 on Twitter.
World Cup champions France travel to Joachim Löw's under pressure Germany on Thursday in an eye-catching start to the inaugural UEFA Nations League, a competition introduced to replace most international friendlies. In a statement that was released from Deschamps said it's a galvanizing effect to have this title in terms of confidence. The title of world champion, you have to manage it, but it's not a weight or a burden to carry. It is quite the opposite. With all the positive aspects of being a world champion on the sporting front, but also from a human and psychological standpoint, it is a huge boost. It won't prevent them from going through tougher times, but it's not necessarily linked to the tag of world champion, he added.
He's just trying to ease the pressure. I tell you, once you are world champion, there is pressure. Everybody wants to take your scalp. And you have to make it worse, he's facing Germany, who had a terrible World Cup and now have something to prove, with one player coming to talk about racism, another player coming to talk about favoritism. There's a lot going on. And so Germany would have something to prove. So yes, it is a tough first match to play. The UEFA Nations League basically they've just changed it, as opposed to having 6 groups and picking the top 2 teams that have qualified. They now have different leagues. So League A is for the first top 6 ranked countries. League B is for the second 6 ranked country, and then there's League C. And then the people that finish at the bottom of each league get relegated, and people that finish at the top of the other league get promoted. So they just converted Euro 26 qualifying into a league, bottom line.
Interesting.
All right, let's round up with all the messages that have been flooding in. Ade says, them no serious at all. If they don't want their shoes, they can send it down to us. Do you know how many folks don't have footwear? Also says, Tega, take energy drink. FIFA best top 3 was a shock to me too. Cristiano Ronaldo better not win 8. A Wild Cruz says, Ronaldo and Messi didn't have to be on that list, truly. But Tega, how far with mooting now?
You didn't tell me now.
Okay, sorry. Jire from Mishaga says, Griezmann over Salah. He won the World Cup and Euro Cup. Simple as ABC. Tega's on point. Maybe not Mbappe, but Ronaldo tried, Sha. I would give it to Griezmann. Modric second, Ronaldo third.
Ronaldo, no, not even on the list. Next.
We have this one from Taya, and Taya says, so Tega stayed up all night, and her dear Roger did not perform that night. Laugh out loud. Auntie Serena is in her tutu pushing through the barrier. I say, well done. It's easier to burn a flag than merchandise from a sports brand. So the exclusion of Messi is making it possible to realize the bias in FIFA. When he and Ronaldo were winning it, nobody was complaining. Welcome to the reality of other deserving players.
Sorry, no, don't be angry. We've got this one in from Don Pius, who says, Tega has brought in another abracadabra again on this FIFA best list. Griezmann, Mbappe, and Modric, leaving Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi out, please. Someone should remind her this 2018, not 2022. We don't know more than those who drew up that lost. Messi has won this award with lesser performance in the past, 2010 in particular. So he should also have a dose of what Snyder got way back when.
First of all, let me let you know, the people that drew up the list, I know more than some of them. Some of them are my colleagues.
Thank you.
So don't give me that. Okay. Don't think that because it's from abroad, it is superior.
Mentality.
Go global.
Okay. While Tony Ayo from Ayobo says Antoine Griezmann is not in the list of world's best after winning Europa League and World Cup and Super Cup. Hashtag FIFA confused. Yes, what it seems like. And on that note, those are all the messages we can take for now. If you want to continue the conversation, you can go up on Twitter, tag Tega. She's at Tega Supreme. But if you want to argue with your phone. So we've got to take a break. When we come back, a final hour of Smooth Breakfast, where you get to talk, and we're opening up the phone lines and having a discussion about our artifacts. What does it mean for our culture? How do we get them back? Keep listening to Smooth 98.1.
I beg, let me see what they want to ask me of it. I muted somebody by mistake. I can't get the person back, and I don't know the person's handle.
Yeah.